Hi everybody, Carv here. It's my 44th birthday. How about that? I am now officially in my mid-40s. Maybe I already was. As you can see, I have the beginnings of a beard here. I'm growing that for Hamlet, which we'll be putting up in Priest Point Park in Olympia here in about a month. And I'm starting a new job within the next few days, so it's a very exciting time in my life. But I wanted to take a little bit of time and talk about Prometheus, the Ridley Scott film that came out last Friday. I was very excited to see it, as you know, and I have now seen it once. That probably is not enough to fully digest it. And since it came out, a lot of bloggers and other folks have written extensively about the movie. So I don't necessarily have anything new to tell you about it. I have been asked what I thought of it, and in general, I think it is gorgeous to look at. I think it is certainly smart enough to qualify as real science fiction. I'd probably give it a B+. It's a few percentage points worse than Avengers. How about that? Now, the marketing made it out to be an Alien prequel. I think Alien and Aliens are classic films, as close to perfect as they need to be. In fact, Aliens is one of my all-time favorite movies. And I understand exactly why this movie was marketed that way. It is certainly set in the same universe as the Alien movies. It includes the sinister Weyland Corporation, and in fact we get a deeper look at that. That corporation will later become the Weyland-Yutani Corporation of the larger alien continuum. And there is, in fact, a lot of alien life in the movie. In fact, one of the creatures we see in just a few shots is the familiar alien, or a very close variant thereof. And if you know your Alien and Aliens lore, you know that that monster is specifically referred to as the xenomorph. It's basically Greek for strange form or strange shape. But in fact, I think the movie could have gotten by just fine without that shot. I don't think it needs it. It's an expensive film, and every dollar is on the screen. It really does look amazing. We saw it in IMAX 3D, and oh, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. If there was ever any doubt about whether a movie shot on digital could look as good as a movie shot on film, this movie should completely put that to rest. It is absolutely worth seeing. The special effects are fantastic. I might even say groundbreaking. There are what may as well be CGI human beings in the movie, and you know, that's a high bar to leap. So it's a good movie. Go see it. It's not a perfect movie. Is it as good a movie as Alien or Blade Runner, Ridley Scott's other sci-fi films? Absolutely not. There are plot holes you could fly the Prometheus through. And we'll talk about some of those very quickly. I didn't really have a problem with some of the plot holes that people complain about. I'll try to keep this as spoiler-free as I can. As you probably know by now, and I would say probably you've seen the movie by now if you care to, but if you haven't, I'll be careful. But what you can glean from the trailer that I will cut back and forth to is that Prometheus is about a spaceship called the Prometheus that is full of people, as it turns out they're scientists and various corporate types, who travel to a moon called LV-223. It's an Earth-sized moon, but the terrain is only kind of like Earth, and the weather is not much like Earth at all. But the reason they travel to LV-223 is in search of an alien race that may or may not have planted life here on Earth. Well, those aliens do in fact make an appearance in the movie. And a lot of people, without getting into spoilery specifics, have a real problem with the motivations of those aliens. Why plant clues so that we could find them only to then not welcome us? I'll keep that vague. I actually didn't have as many problems with that. It all feels like it makes enough sense, which is really more important in a movie than how much actual logical sense it makes. The example I would use here is Raiders of the Lost Ark. At the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, there is no explanation for how Indiana Jones gets the Ark of the Covenant, a very heavy, expensive, easy-to-notice object, back to the United States safely. But that's okay. It is a plot hole, but we don't care because it feels like the movie is on its way to something. And I learned this as an attempted screenwriter years ago. Doesn't matter if it makes perfect sense, it just has to feel like it does. And with the aliens, there's a lot of leeway because, after all, even though they might look a lot like us, they're still aliens. We don't really know what motivates them. And there are very few living members of that species in the movie. We get very little time to talk to them and learn about their motivations, so I don't care too much. What did bother me is the behavior of some of the scientists. Here are a few of them right here.
These are ancient civilizations that were separated by centuries, and yet this same pictogram was discovered in every one of them.
You're smiling.
I think they want us to come and find them.
We're all here because of a map you two kids found in a cave.
Not a map. An invitation.
From whom?
What problem did I have with them? Well, as soon as they arrive on the planet, they begin to take measurements. That seems like something scientists would do. And one of the things they find out very quickly is that there is an area on LV-223 that has an Earth-like atmosphere. Great. That means you could, in fact, breathe the air if you took off your space helmet. So they do. Now, I am not a scientist. I have a sort of scientific curiosity about me, and I would love to go to another planet and look around, but right off the top, I can think of several reasons not to do that. I don't remember anybody saying anything about the pressure of the atmosphere. It may be that that might crush your face off. I certainly don't remember anybody looking around for viruses or bacteria or any other nasty little microorganisms that could get in there and just kill the crap out of you. And since one of the members of the party was a biologist, this seems like a very strange lapse in judgment. So yeah, I didn't always believe that these scientists were acting much like scientists, and given that everybody involved with making the movie seems pretty smart, hopefully at least as smart as the audience, that was sort of a big howler for me.